that upset win coming against the Wolverines.
That's exactly right, and Braxton Brown has had a very good year for Maryland so far, so this is the guy that you'd want out here for Maryland, kind of set the tone early.
Handshakes are down. We're underway here on Big Ten Plus. It's Brown and Ragusin getting us started here at the 133 weight class. Brown taking the aggressor early, going for that right leg on Ragusin. Up is Ragusin, and he goes down slowly for a second. No points awarded, and Brown's down onto him. Flip over onto his back is Brown on the corner right there. Braxton Brown is going out of bounds. And it'll be the first points of the match in this weight class awarded to Michigan. Not just yet, it'll start back in the center. They'll say he goes out of bounds first.
Come on, Braxton!
And we're talking to Coach Clemson, Ben, as you mentioned. Braxton Brown, a player who started a wrestler at 125, really didn't have a lot of success at that weight class, so he goes up to 133, and he shines so far there this year.
Yeah, he really has, and sometimes that increase in weight can be exactly what you need. Maybe a little more comfortable, feeling a little bit stronger at 133 as opposed to 125, because sometimes when you have to cut a lot of weight, it can really take your strength down.
Yeah, I love the quote that we heard from Coach Alex Clemson today. He talked about Brown and getting him stronger. Clemson said you can't starve a racehorse, and that's what they've done with Brown. Really let him get stronger and bigger as we'll go back into the center mat again for this whistle start. Ragusin, an NCAA qualifier last year. This is his first duel so far this season, but he's 14-0 so far in tournament play, including 4 technical falls. Brown, Ragusin both feeling it out here with just over 90 seconds left to go in our first period. Brown escapes that one and still on his feet. Brown looks low for a second. Brown himself has won 2 straight dual matches. Goes back to Pittsburgh and Morgan State. Ragusin's got him in the hold though right now. Brown to the ground, and once again, we find ourselves outside of the circle.
Ragusin and Brown are just going at it, really kind of trying to feel each other out so far. No one's been able to really get anything on the board yet, but they've hung close to that outside, and they've gotten close to a couple takedowns, both of them.
Still 0-0 our score here. Brown again in that 133 weight class, coming off a successful Franklin and Marshall Lehman Open. That was Maryland's lone tournament or dual play. That tournament coming in Pennsylvania a couple weeks ago. One of 4 Terps in that one. We'll get into that a little bit more. One of 4 Terps who made it to the semifinals, but all 4 Terps eliminated in that round of the tournament. Going up is Brown. Ragusin tries to get him out of the circle again, going for the right leg. Still nothing awarded. Ragusin tries to pull him back in. An arm around there for the redshirt junior. Before going out of bounds, did some claps on the Maryland bench. Brown hanging in here again with a highly favored Michigan team, and they've done it, Ben, because this is a Wolverine team that's just had so much success over the Terps recently, especially under head coach Sean Bormat.
That's exactly right. This Maryland team, it's all about fight with them, really. I mean, Clemson takes a lot of pride in the effort this team puts in and how they've gotten better every year.
So after that first period, hits triple zeros. We're still knotted at 0-0 here between Braxton Brown and Dylan Ragusin. 133 leading us off here. And the Big Ten season opener for Michigan and Maryland. Brown immediately gets it on top. From the legs, but escaping there is Brown. That will be our first of the match. Instead it goes Brown with the right leg hold on Ragusin. Minor riding time. It's 5 seconds in Maryland's favor. And back on top goes Ragusin. It's going to be 3 points awarded for Ragusin, and they'll add the one more earlier for the escape. Ragusin still on top. That'll be A quick fix here on our riding time clock. Instead of 5 seconds, I'll be looking for 7 seconds, it seems.
And that initial escape there from Ragusin, that's kind of a tough position that you get put in on the restart with Brown. He did a good job. He really made it difficult on him, but it came to a point where they had to get back set up, so he had to kind of let Ragusin go, and you have to surrender that point right there.
Our officials on the mat talking here, and they'll have the starting position. It'll be Brown going to the knee.
So it's a chance here for Brown to get that point right back.
Yep.
Of course, got another 3 to make up after that, but be a start.
Still a lot of time here as we have some issues with the riding time clock.
Everybody knows he cannot hold you.
But Braxton Brown, one of 3 ranked Maryland wrestlers that we'll see here tonight. At number 19 by Flow Wrestling. Both teams having a good amount of ranked wrestlers. Some will wrestle tonight, some will not. But Issue's just presiding over this clock right now, Ben, very quickly into this match.
Yeah, I mean, while we're on the topic of these Michigan wrestlers, you can see really by just looking at the rosters how deep Michigan is. Just at the 125 weight class, which we'll see later, of course, they got 3 people, projected as maybe being able to go, one of them being the number 3 wrestler in the 125 class in the entire country. And that's kind of something that you see a lot throughout this roster with Michigan, is a lot of depth at a lot of different weight classes.
Yeah, and that's a level of talent that's consistent in the Big Ten, too. We know how Penn State is a powerhouse to be fielded not only in the Big Ten, but in the country as a whole. The number 1 ranked team so far in the nation right now. Again, 2 ranked teams between number 21 Maryland and number 13 Michigan.
Yeah, there's another ranked Big Ten matchup tonight as well with Ohio State and Illinois, so the conference all around a powerhouse.
Back into it here on the mat between Brown and Ragusin. Brown looking for the escape and gets it. Just as you called, Ben. It's the 1 point on the escape for Brown, but he still has the 3 to make up from the earlier takedown.
Squeeze his head like a grapefruit.
Brown. They'll call it a stalemate and start back in the middle. Brown looking to get back into this one. Need to play from behind. 40 seconds left to go in the second period.
Come on, Braxton, get the takedown.
Riding time still in Michigan's favor, but shouldn't play a factor at this point in the final 30.
Take him down. He's just dancing. He's just dancing, that's all.
Brown still patient with Ragusin.
He's dancing. Show him
Can either wrestler get any more points before we head into our second period break before the third? Ragusin up top and neither wrestler willing to make a move. Officials willing to blow that whistle again for a stalemate, but it'll come to the end of our second period. And Ben, I think we could just say a really feeling out process so far through the first 4 minutes.
Well, yeah, like you just brought up the officials, of course, could call a stalemate. But, I mean, I think a lot of times when you have the lead, these wrestlers are so good at knowing how to stall without getting that called on him. They know exactly how to do it where it's legal, but don't cross that line.
Ragusin on top early to start our third period. Looking to keep this lead alive. Trying for the escape is Brown. Not yet, though. Ragusin still has him. And bring him down. Flipped over there right near our scorer's table. And he'll bring it back into the middle. Ragusin grabbing his right leg now. And Ben, we've seen these two wrestlers go outside the circle often so far in this bout, but maybe the most dangerous one right there by our scorer's table.
And that was loud. That was a sound that everyone on the broadcast heard, and everyone in this building had a little bit of a gasp after the foot of Ragusin came into contact with the scorer's table.
Flying around there. They're looking for the leg grab on Ragusin. Can Brown escape it? And back on top is Brown. Brown trying to find the leg hold. And they'll call it back at the top.
You see that riding time for Michigan really starting to get up there, 46 seconds.
Hurry up!
46 seconds on the riding time clock, and still a minute 26 left in the third period.
Caution! You're getting a lot of cautions out there.
Brown will go back again in the escape position,
Can't hold you.
but needs to make up more than just that 1 point. All right, Leggins sweeping that one there is Ragusin. Good recovery from Brown. Brown needs to fight out of it. Again, that riding time going into Ragusin's favor. Brown gets up off the ground. Ragusin tries to put it right back and flipping it over and getting it out of our circle. A minute 5 the riding time goes to as Ragusin prepares to start on top again.
A lot of credit to Brown in this bout so far. I mean, Ragusin has really made it difficult, and he's got him into some positions where it looked like he might get that tank down, but Brown has really hung in there tough, and that's something Clemson talked about with all his wrestlers. They're very tough, and they're not going to be easy to go down most of the time.
Again, Ragusin only his first dual debut so far this year. So ranking-wise, it is Brown who has the advantage there, but it's Ragusin taking it here and slamming down Braxton Brown. No points yet, but that riding time keeps going up. And with that, over a minute 30 on the riding time, which will add some points for Dylan Ragusin. Adding the right leg too. Trying to get Brown over, but still nothing yet. Riding time up to a minute 47. Another stalemate called here. It's been a theme so far in this first bout, and we'll head back to middle mat.
And Clemson was begging for it. He got up out of his chair and started screaming, "That's 5, that's 5," and eventually the official took notice and was able to call it for him.
Final seconds left in this first bout between Braxton Brown and Dylan Ragusin. Ragusin with the advantage here, and Bennett looks like he's content to add up that riding time here and try to keep bringing it to Brown. Slammed over. Again, it's Brown back onto the mat. And Ragusin just racking up those seconds. And with that whistle, that will do it. It's a decision coming. 3 points in favor of Michigan. They'll add on that 1 point, and it's 5-1.